So I just finished up my first week of online school for winter term, and I miss you guys. Like, even though daily vlogging during Vlogmas sucked and I was always exhausted, I just miss interacting with you guys so much. It feels so weird that there's just not that much content going up on the channel right now. So I finally finished, well, I didn't finish all my homework, but I finished a good chunk of my homework, so I have some time today to do a mod install. And the mod that we're doing today is actually replacing a mod that I did a few months ago, and we're gonna get into that in just a little bit. What? They're working now. Are you kidding me? Yesterday they were not working, and one of them was off and the other one was on. They were just freaking out. I don't know why now that one on the left has decided to start working, but either way, I'm gonna replace them because screw these taillights. So of course, as soon as I try to get it on camera, they decide to work properly, but that is exactly why I'm replacing those taillights, because they suck and they have swindled me once again, and I'm not having it anymore. So the taillights that I have got to replace those taillights are actually very similar to those. They're just the V2 Vectors, so I'm gonna go ahead and show them off to you guys. Alright, so these are the Raxiom Vector V2s. These have a smoked lens. I don't think you can get them with any other colored lens. I'm pretty sure you only get smoked, but maybe they have a red. I'm not exactly sure. I went ahead and picked these up because from what I hear, these are kind of what the V1s were supposed to be. Hopefully they should work a little better. I know that a lot of people experience having their V1 Vectors break and stuff, and there's a few things that I really like about these lights, so we're gonna go ahead and install this one, and then I'll do a side-by-side comparison. Alright guys, so here's the first look with the side-by-side. So the one on the right is the V1 Vector, the one on the left, that's the V2. I'll go ahead and turn the lights on here in just a minute. But yeah, so as you can see, these ones actually have condensation in them. The one that was on the left was the one that was working intermittently, and the one that was on the right worked, but it has a bunch of water in it, so that sucks. These ones, there's no reflector in between them, and the reflector strip is on the bottom, and the reverse bulb, you actually just use a stock one and put it in there, so it's still a halogen bulb even though they're LED taillights, and just overall, the build quality on these is just not great. However, the new ones are way better. So instead of having a reflector strip on the bottom, these are actually a bit longer, and the reflectors are in the middle, and so it's a full LED taillight, and when you put it in reverse, these two go black and this LED strip turns white. So there's no halogen bulbs in this, it's all integrated into the LEDs, and it just looks a lot nicer. It looks much more like the S550 ones, where these ones are unique. I like them, and especially like some people run the ones that have the white diffusers on them, which is pretty cool, but I really just think that these ones overall are so much better than those ones. But I don't know, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. I'm gonna go ahead and turn them on real quick so you can see what they look like. And oh, they do one more thing. When you press the brake on those ones, they light up the whole thing once and then they sequence. So it goes like doot, doot. Whereas this one, as soon as you press the brake, it doesn't do like an initial flash with all three, it just goes doot. It always sequences. And that's the same thing with the turn signals with those. When you turn on your turn signal, instead of just immediately sequencing, it gives one flash of all three and then it sequences, whereas these ones, it should just go do-do-do. It should start with a sequence. You'll see what I mean here in just a second. So that's the running lights. Was that correct?
Yes.
So the one on the left sequences?
Yes.
Sick.
Do it again? Yep. The color's a lot more red too. The ones on the older one is a lot more kind of orangey.
And then the turn signal.
Yep.
And then this one should flash once before it goes.
Yes. The color's also way worse on the older ones.
Alright, so with that out of the way, I'm going to go ahead and just install that one, and then I'll show you guys the final look. Alright, so there's the final look. with both V2 Vectors on there. I think it's looking pretty sick. It's kind of hard to capture all the detail on camera, but there's like these little ribs in there, and then the reflectors are in between the vectors, or the diffusers, or whatever you want to call them. Overall, I think this is a really sick modification, but they're also like $400. So I guess from like a YouTuber or content creator perspective, it kind of made sense, even though they were still really expensive. So if you're looking to getting the V2 Vectors, I would honestly, well, I don't know, if you have the V1s and they're working properly, maybe don't get rid of them just yet. But if they start to malfunction and you can afford it, you can get those V2 Vectors, which are super sick, but also they're $400, and I know there are cheaper options for aftermarket taillights, so if you're a fan of the Gen 5s, there's also those. I can't say that I recommend buying them. I mean, obviously they're cool, but like, it was a pretty penny. Like, I was down change for a while because of those Vectors. So kind of just depends on what your goals are with the car. If you can afford it and you really want them, then by all means, pick them up if you can. I think they're on American Muscle right now. But if you still have your V1s and they're working properly and you don't need them, then I would stick with the V1s until they break. And hopefully they won't break, because I know some people say they don't break at all, and mine were working great for like 6 months, and then all of a sudden they just stop. So really just depends on where you're at with your build. I think they're super sick, but it kind of just depends. And there's a lot of different factors, so I'll leave that up to you guys. I also just realized that I forgot to show you guys the reverse, so I'm gonna hop in, put it in reverse real quick, and show you guys what it looks like. Ooh. Okay, I thought that the reds on the outside turned off and then the ones in the middle went white, but I guess the ones on the outside stay red when you put it in reverse, so that's super cool. I really like that. On the old ones, when you put them in reverse, the whole thing went black and then the reverse bulb would just turn on. But with these ones, you've got a whole freaking Christmas tree over there. It's like a candy cane. I honestly think it would be kind of cool if all 3 of them turned white, but that might be a little bit overkill. Alright, so I haven't picked up the camera in a little bit, so I do apologize about the weird jump. There wasn't a smooth transition. Some of you guys may have noticed that I have a check engine light on in the Mustang right now. I tried to reach out to Bama to see if they could maybe update my tune, but maybe because of COVID and everything going on, they might not really be able to answer calls, or they might be having a hard time getting back to people. So I don't really know what's going on with them, but I've also heard from a lot of people that they just don't like Bama tunes, and there's some other tuners in the S197 community that have a pretty good reputation. So I think I'm going to be doing a Lido tune. I haven't reached out to him yet, but some people on Instagram have been telling me that Lido does really good tunes. I heard a rumor a while back that he was like, someone had a bad experience with him, like their engine blew up or something, but that may have just been their fault and not the fault of the tuner. So I am going to be getting a Lido tune. It should be relatively inexpensive because I only have like a cold air intake and a catless exhaust. So I don't have like crazy booster cams or anything like that yet, but I just want the car to run a little bit better because I think my air fuel ratios are off. Like the car just reeks, and I know that that's partially because it's catless and it's just gonna reek no matter what, but it is running too rich and it kind of bogs a lot at low RPM. I think if there's just too much fuel going into the cylinders. I think I might get an air fuel ratio gauge at some point so that I can monitor it myself. So that could be an upcoming video here before too long, but I just want to go ahead and get a nicer tune on the car. So that'll be an upcoming video pretty soon. I'm gonna reach out to them in the next day or two, ask them about pricing and whatnot, and then have them do like a data logging format for me. And that'll be kind of cool. I'll probably showcase that for you guys because I think it's kind of hard. Like tuning is something that's kind of hard to learn about. Most of it you learn from other people in the car car community, and I've yet to find a really good resource online as far as tuning goes for S197s, because it seems like every YouTube video I watch, there's just someone that's like, oh yeah, you just get a tune, and it's like, wait, you skipped a step. Like, I don't know how to do that other than Bama, because that's like Walmart tune. Like, they're just mass produced. So I'm pretty excited about that. I want to go ahead and make a really good explanation video and kind of talk about some of the science behind it. I think, like, understanding why your air fuel ratios at different RPMs need to be what they are, and how the engine functions at lower RPM versus higher RPM. So hope you guys look forward to that. I'm going to be getting up early tomorrow because I'm going up to Portland for some more stuff. So I hope that you guys look forward to that video, and as always, I'm trying to keep the uploads coming out, even though I have tons of homework to do all the time. So if you guys made it this far in the video and you're still listening to me rambling, make sure you guys leave a like down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, and dream big.